Hello everyone, myself Kamna Singh, Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department in AKGEC Engineering College. Today we are going to discuss the topic Intrusion Detection System, which is from the topic as Computer System Security. In this particular lecture, we are going to cover that what is intruder, types of intruder and what is intruder, and then the phases of the intrusion detection system. The last topic will be detection method of the IDS. So we will start from the intruder. Actually, the intruder is, we can understand the intruder is just as a person which is trying to unauthorized access of your system or a network. Here the system means your mobile devices or your computer system or a desktop computer, whatever the devices, and this intruder is a person who is gaining access of that particular unauthorized access. Now the next term is the intrusion. Intrusion is the act or activity which is performing by the intruder to gain unauthorized access of the system or a network. And so if there is an attacker who is trying to gain access of your system, then how we will overcome these activities? So this intrusion detection system came into the existence. This system detect the intrusion activity or the suspicious activity if it is going on to the network. So there are the three terms, that is intruder, that they are the attacker, or you can say that is the person who attempt to breach the security. It may be outsider or the insider network or legitimate user of the network. And the term legitimate means that is it is authorized user of your system. Suppose that you are using your computer system or you are using the mobile device. So you are the legitimate user or authorized person to access your device. But the attacker is trying to gain access. So there is the intruder. Intruder is also can be a legitimate user, and this is called also as a inside intruder. Next is the intrusion. Intrusion is the unauthorized access by the intruder to misuse the system or a network. It can be physical, system or remote intrusions is there. It can be physical and system. System may be whatever your devices is there, and the remote intrusions is may be possible. These intrusion activities will be performed on the server. So we have came into the definition that what is actually the IDS. The IDS is the system that monitor network traffic for suspicious activity and issue the alert when such activity is discovered. So here the network traffic means, suppose that you are traveling from any destination to next destination. There is a road and there are so many vehicles are there. So this road is called as a path and these vehicles are called as a packets. So there are just superimpose this phenomena into the CSS, that there are in the path from the source to destination, there are so many packets are traveling. So maybe possible there are so many traffic is there and the message may be corrupted. This is the types of intruder. Intruder is the person which is trying to gain access of your computer system or complete organization or a complete network. So there are three types of outside intruder, inside intruder and clandestine intruder. The first is the outside intruder, that is a masquerader. It is also called a masquerader. And why it is called the masquerader? Because it observing the network traffic and trying to gain access of your system or a network. So you can say this is the category of the individual that are not authorized to use the system, but still the spoil the services or the privacy or confidential information of the system. Mosquito are the outsider, and hence they don't have a direct access to the system, but they are aiming to corrupt that particular system or steal the information from the network. So this is the simple phenomena of the outside intruder. This orange oval shape, you can say that is the network. There are so many computers inside the network, and these all A, B, C, D nodes, these computers are called as a nodes. These are the nodes, or you can say the host of the system, and these nodes are interacted and message passes, but all the systems are connected and each are communicated each other. There is a B, C, D computer systems are there, or here I am taking only 4 computers, but imagine there are the 50 computers in a system or in a network, or there is a LAN. But in this 50 computer system, they all are the legitimate user to use the services of the network. Then next, suppose that this is the attacker, and this attacker is outside the network and trying to gain access of that particular network services. This is the outside intruder. Actually, outside intruder have invalid user. It is only trying to steal or masquerade the whatever messages are traveling inside the network. The next is the insider. Insider intruder, or it is also called as a misfeasor. Misfeasor is the category of the individual person that is again a attacker, but it is authorized to use the system, but trying to misuse the whatever the privilege or access is providing to the network. So it is called as a misfeasor. Misfeasors are the insiders, and they have direct access to the system, which they aim to attack unethically for stealing data information. So in this, inside intruder is that here you can see that this is the simple oval. Suppose that this is the network, and there are so many computer systems or your devices or the mobile devices are connected to form a network. All the messages are passing, or they are connecting and communicating each other. Now suppose that this E is the intruder. E is also having the part of the organization, but trying to gain access of some unrestricted privileges. Suppose A, B, C, D, suppose these are the 5 computers in the network. These all having some privilege or some permissions to use this particular services of the network. Now E is also a valid user, but E is trying to steal or misuse some information which is not authorized by the E. So this is called the inside intruder. So inside intruder is very, very difficult to identify because it is the inside the organization and trying to corrupt the system without knowing to the other one. The next one is the third is the intruder, that is a clandestine user. So the category of the individual, those have supervision or the super control of your system, and if you are the valid user of your computer system and the clandestine user or clandestine intruder is there, he or she having a complete control of your computer system, and the authorized user cannot use the system. That is the clandestine user. So user can be any of the and the clandestine is any of insider intruder and also the outsider intruder. But the problem is that he or she having the super control or complete control of your computer system or a network, so that the authorized user cannot access that particular system. These are the types of intruder. So we can say the intruder, if we are talking about a simple real-time example, suppose that in an organization providing some network facility to all the employees. Suppose there are 50 employees are there in the organization. This is the network and there are 50 employees. So you can say these 50 employees having a computer system, and even all are privilege to access something. The outside intruder is trying to access or steal inside the network, and the inside intruder is what? Inside intruder is, it is inside the organization and misuse the information which is having a privilege of that insider. And the clandestine user is what? Clandestine is, you can see this, the clandestine having a super control over the computer system or a network, so that no one can access, or even a valid user cannot access that particular system. This is the intruder, and that is the type of intruders. Now, so the IDS is called as, it is a system that monitor the network traffic for the suspicious activity and issue the alerts when such activity is discovered. There are 4 phases of any IDS system. First of all, the intrusion detection system is a maybe software or a hardware. And the first phase of the intrusion is that IDS system having a all the monitoring each and every packets travel in the network. They are monitoring that particular traffic. If any suspicious activity is happening in the messages, then it capture that particular network packets. IDS system having its own repository or a database having some all the known attacks patterns are there in the system repository. Then in that particular repository, IDS system, whatever the packet is capturing, IDS system analyze the packet if it is matching some known pattern attacks are there. If it is yes, then it send the alarm or a alert signal to the network administrator. It is as simple that, suppose that in a real time scenario, if suppose that there is a class of the 50 students are there, and in the class there is a teacher is also present, and the one student as a CR or a class coordinator is there. This class coordinator having a responsibility, if any of the student is misbehaving or using the some mobile phone or something, whatever they are not supposed to do, then this CR alert the particular teacher that he or she is that particular student is doing something which is not supposed to do. So, for superimposing this concept in the IDS, so that this particular CR is just as an IDS. So, this particular CR or a class coordinator of the having not a responsibility to discard that student or giving some punishment to that student who is misbehaving in the class. This is the responsibility of the teacher. So, superimposing of this phenomena into the IDS system, the teacher is a server or a network administrator, and the CR is the IDS system which is only having a monitoring or observing the suspicious activity. So, in the first phase, that CR is only monitoring the traffic. So, IDS is monitoring the traffic. After that, if any suspicious activity will happen, then it capture the network packets, and after that, the analyzing that particular packets with the system repository of the IDS system. IDS having also a particular known pattern attacks are there. After that, if that particular match will happen, means there is some suspicious activity is going to be initialized, then this is the responsibility of the IDS to send the alert signal to the network administrator. Now, in the simple computer system network, there are so many computer systems, they are passing the particular messages to each other. In a network, suppose they are not connecting or they are not internetworking is there, only a LAN is there. For the LAN connection, there is a device that is called as a switch. Switch is also connected with other, and hub and bridges is also there. Now, if the two networks are connected, then there is a router is there. Router is a physical device which is used for the internetworking. So we understand the concept of the router and bridge, which is used for understanding the connectivity of the IDS. Here there is a first network and the network 2. Network may be LAN, MAN or WAN, local area network, metropolitan or a wide area network. In the network 2, same, or LAN, MAN or WAN is there. But if the internetworking is going on, or if two or more networks are connected together, then there is a physical device which is going to connected these networks, that is called the router. Here there are 3 LANs are there. In this particular example, there are 3 LANs are there. Suppose that there are in the first LAN, this is the first LAN. In the first LAN, suppose that there are 50 messages are passing with each node. So there are so many messages are traveling here. In the second LAN, there are so many messages are traveling for each computer system, and in the third LAN. And all these 3 LANs are connected with the wide area network. Now, the idea system is working as, in the network, there is an intrusion detection system. All the messages are passing and communicating each other, and in the IDS, there is a IDS repository, or you can say the IDS database is there. And in this IDS database, all the particular known attacks are listed out in this IDS database. So the phases, the first phase of the IDS is what? That is the monitoring all the traffic. Monitoring the traffic means all the messages are traveling from one network to another network so that all the network are communicating each other. In this particular scenario, the IDS is going on. So IDS is monitoring each and every packets traveling inside the computer network. And if the second phase, if any suspicious activity will happen, suppose that message is misbehaving or the message response time is larger than the expected time, whatever this activity is there, then it is analyzing that, capture that particular packet and then analyzing. Analyzing doesn't mean that there is a suspicious activity. Analyzing the capturing the packet, analyzing phase doesn't mean that all the packets are having a suspicious. May be possible because of the traffic there is some activity will happen. Maybe there is a no malicious attacks or the malware attack will be there. So that's why the third phase is very, very important to analyze if there is some attacks which is already listed out, and then they are matching the captured packet activity. If there is some suspicious activity will happen, then it sends the alarm signal to IDS, will send the alarm signal to the network administrator. Now, we understand the what is router and we understand the local area network and the switches there. We already understand this, and IDS repository is there. Now, the next new term is there, that is a firewall. Firewall is maybe hardware or a software, and firewall filters the network. Suppose that in your suppose that you are residing in the hostel, you are using the hostel network system or an intranet is there. In that particular intranet, there is some keywords are restricted, that you cannot use that particular website, or the some keywords are there. So the firewall having a responsibility to filter the network. And the IDS is what? IDS, intrusion detection system, it detect the suspicious activity if the suspicious message is capturing, so that it sends the alarm signal to the network. So this is the complete diagram for the intrusion detection system. There is a local area network, or a MAN or a WAN is there, and these are the whatever the network is there. Network is also having the server is also there. Whatever the devices are connected, suppose laptop, mobile, whatever the devices you are connecting with the network. Now the switch is the device, that is the physical device, not the software device. This is the always the physical device that are responsible to connect the LAN. If the internally you are want to try to connect the LAN, then you are using the switch. Now the switch is connecting with the other internet is there. In router two or more networks are connected together with this particular physical device. Router is having a, that is a physical device, or you can say hardware device is there. And the firewall is maybe hardware or a software, and firewall is filtering the network. Now, there are the 5 types of intrusion detection system. The first type is the network intrusion detection system. The second one is the host. Third one is the protocol based intrusion detection system, and the application protocol based intrusion detection system, and hybrid. Hybrid intrusion detection system is nothing but it is the combination of any of the 4 IDs. Now, one by one we can understand what are the types of the intrusion detection system. The first one is the network intrusion detection system. In the network intrusion system, suppose that this is the diagram, there is some network is there. There are so many computers are inside together, and they are communicating some messages are. In the network, there is a server is also there. In the network, that particular LAN, MAN or WAN, that particular network having a server also, and also there is a one NIDS. Here in this diagram, that is the hardware device, but NIDS can be a software also. So NIDS or a IDS system can be a software or a hardware. In this, there is a NIDS management. In the NIDS management, having a system repository which having all the suspicious activities listed out, means all the known pattern attacks, and if there are some other unknown attacks are also there, and they are capturing that particular packet, that so that they are updated their table. IDS system updated their table with the unknown attacks also. So what will happen in the NIDS system? In the network intrusion system, they are planned to the point within the network to examine the traffic from all the devices on the network. So it perform the observation of the whatever the network traffic is there. So again there is the phases of particular network is that all the messages are traveling inside the network. There is a server, and then all the packets, each and every messages are traveling inside the network is monitored by the NIDS system. Suppose there are 50 nodes or a computer system in the network, so and these 50 nodes are communicating each other and passing 1000 messages in a 1 second. So NIDS having a responsibility to monitor all these 1000 messages with a fraction of second, and then if there is any suspicious or malicious activity will happen, then all that particular packets is going to capture, and this particular packet is monitor and analyze. Analyze means that matching with the NIDS repository. If any match found, means any attack was initiated, so that this particular packet is to whatever the packet address is informed as an alert signal to the network administrator. Here in the NIDS system, network administrator is the server of that particular network. NIDs having not a responsibility to discard that particular packet, only it is having to alarm or alert that it may be possible there is any suspicious activities going on. But this is the responsibility of the server to that particular packet is to be discarded or not discarded or resend it, whatever. But whatever the doing in that particular packet which is already captured, having some suspicious activity inside there, or the inside the malicious activity is there. So in this particular packet is only NIDS is alerting the server of that particular network, and then this is the responsibility of server to discard that particular packet. So NIDS looks for the attack signature in the network traffic, and it filters and usually apply to the determine which will be discarded or passed to an attack recognition module. But NIDS having not a responsibility to discard that packet, only alert that this particular packet should be discarded. So this is the NIDS. In the method, whatever the method is there, which we already discussed, that is the first step is that sorry, monitor each packet traveling inside the network. Whatever the packets are there, if there are 1,000 or 10,000 packets are traveling inside the network, then each and every packet are monitored by the NIDS system. And the second step is that it capture the packet if any malware attack is happening or any suspicious activity is there. Then the third step is that it matches with the repository of the IDS. If the known or unknown attacks are there, then NIDS system is sending the alert signal to the particular server of a network. These are the advantages of the NIDS. The main advantage of the network based IDS is that the system is designed to prevent whatever the attacks before it infiltrates the internal network, and there is a real time detection and response will be there. The malicious intent detection means only it is if that particular activity is going to happen or a suspicious activity is going to happen, then the malicious that particular packet is as an alert signal is transmitted to the network administrator. These are some other advantages of the NIDS, that is a few well placed network based IDS can monitor a large network. The deploying of the NIDS has little impact upon the existing network. So they are usually passive devices that listen on a network, only masquerading or monitoring that particular network, listening. If there is something is suspicious is going to happen, then it sends the alert signal. It can be made very secure against attack and made invisible to the many attacker. This is the main, that it is invisible to many attackers. The main disadvantage of the NIDS is, the first disadvantage is that it is only sending the alert signal. It is not preventing from the attack. Or the next is that for a very large network where millions and billions of messages are passing, messages from one network to another network, in that particular system, NIDS will be inefficient. So there is a difficulty of processing all packets in a larger or a busy network, and therefore may fail to recognize an attack because there are so many nodes are there and so many messages are traveling within a fraction of seconds. The next type of the IDS system is the host intrusion detection system. Host is nothing but it is on a network, there is a computer system. Thank you.